In this video, I will be making a tire swing terrarium. I picked up this plant at my local garden store. I believe it to be a Eugenia globulus bonsai. I also got this little candy truck at 7-Eleven, so I could take off a wheel and use it for the rope swing element. I would like to know that the candy inside is not good at all. Okay, time to take off a wheel. This shouldn't be too difficult. Yeah, this took me much longer than I'd care to admit. Finally got it off. This should work quite well. Time to attach it to the little tree. I just tied 2 pieces of black sewing thread to the tire. Then I just tied it onto this little branch right here. Sweet! I think this is looking pretty good so far. So here, I'm just taking the plant out of its pot and removing most of the dirt to prep it for replanting. Now it's time to put in the drainage layer for this terrarium. I'm using activated charcoal here, which I have yet to do before as I normally use gravel. I'm hoping it works well. Next, I'm adding a fiberglass window screen mesh to separate the drainage layer from the soil. Never use a metal barrier as it can rust and cause issues. As far as the soil I'm using for this build goes, this is a mixture of potting soil, black sand, sphagnum moss, charcoal, and some orchid bark. Okay, time to replant. Isn't this root system wild? It looks like a spring. Must have been in that plant pot for some time. Here we go. Okay, how am I gonna do this? Alright, so I took a little bit of soil out and made a little hole in there, so let's try this again. It definitely took me a while to get it to my liking, as you can see here, but after some time I think it's looking pretty good so far. I'll be adding in the moss now. I believe this to either be cushion moss or hypnomoss, but I'm not really sure. I found it the other day outside in my neighborhood between some cracks in the sidewalk. So I basically just dropped the moss in piece by piece, then carefully shoved my hand in and tried to position it in a place that made sense. After being happy with how all the moss was positioned, I also added in some rocks as a finishing touch. This is how it turned out after all was said and done. A miniature rope swing on a miniature tree.
What is this?
Swing.
For ants!
I hope you enjoyed that amazing editing. The only thing left to do is spray down the tank and add in some springtails. I actually made this terrarium as my white elephant Christmas gift, and the person that received it absolutely loved it. I hope you all enjoyed this build. Thanks for watching.